Well, today not only is it chicken cleaning day, but it's also compost day. So we've talked about this compost before, and it's not in the greatest spot. It's in a shady spot, it doesn't get a lot of sun and it doesn't get a lot of moisture, but it does do a little bit of composting. So today's job, before winter comes and before some of the hibernating creatures around here, like toads and frogs and stuff, make their way into it, I'm digging it out. So I've moved everything out that hasn't composted into a pile here, and then I'm digging all of this nice compost out of here so I can lower it, and then I can pile all of this back in. So for now, I'm putting all of this compost just in a mound here, and then I'll spread it out. And then I'll probably get some muck from the chickens and layer that in, and then I'll put all of this back on top and give it a good water with a watering can, put a load of water on it, and then that will be set for winter then, and all the bugs and frogs and toads and things can move back in, and then next spring we'll do it all again. But even for a little small end of garden compost heap that's not in the perfect position, it does make some nice compost. Water and ducks, bane of my life. So I'm trying a new thing to stop spillage. So we've got a grow bag tray here which helps just stop the excess water getting into the shavings. But I'm also trying just putting an upturned old metal hanging basket container into the water, and that basically means that the ducks can't get in and splash it all about, but they can get their heads in, as can the chickens. So I've got two, and I'm hoping it will keep the water within the tray a little bit more, because as you know, I used to deep litter this shed, but I can't do that anymore because the ducks just create so much watery mess. So anything to prevent so much spread of water is ideal. So far it's been working really, really well. I did have a piece of metal across that, but I found that the chickens got on top of it, and then their shavings and their poo went into the water. So this way, they won't really be able to stand on top of it. You're making a lot of noise there, Guineafowl. So I'm hoping this might have a little bit of a help in keeping this shed a little bit cleaner. So you know, I mentioned the guineas weren't getting out. This is what I've come home to. One guinea, one little chick, and I'll come and show you the damage. So they've come all the way up to where they used to live, up the top here. Hello, doggy. And they've dust bathed. So there's a nice hole. There's some heuchera leaves taken off. Silly little things. So I'm going to have to sort out what's going on. Now I did actually clip. So yesterday Sard said that all guineas got out, all 3 guineas got out. Today only one's out, and I did actually manage to clip the wing of 2 of them last night. So I'm wondering whether this is the guinea that hasn't got her wings clipped. So I'll grab her in a minute and take a look. Look at them. They're just like, oh, I'm sorry. But you're not, are you? Because you've had a day about town, which is rather naughty. So yeah, I'm going to put them back in now, and hopefully they will behave. There's old Barry, just down in the Silkie doing a little bit of a look at the girls actually. And you can see that we've got some toasty marshmallow there, but some of it has kind of disappeared. So there was one with a really, really red head, and over the year she has molted for the second molt, and it's disappeared. So we've got these 2 hens here, and then we've got a few down here. You can see they've still got some nice on their throat, but that really red-headed girl has disappeared. And it's not that she's died or she's been eaten, she's just molted out, so she's gone back to a white crest. So it's seeing that this sort of getting this toasty marshmallow colour into them is not as easy as I initially thought, because on a second molt it disappears. But I still love these girls. They're still doing really well. They're actually laying like crazy again now. Now it's cooled off. They're no longer broody. But of course I don't want a house full of chicks. Hello Eddie Jr. I don't want a house full of chicks, and so I'm not going to be hatching out any over the winter. But this colour line is going to continue next year.
And hopefully we're going to get some new girls for Eddie, so Eddie can come out of here. Eddie can go into his own coop and have some new girls, and I get my Ixworth line on the go again. But I'm pretty happy with these Silkies. Obviously they're not a silky show line. I'm breeding them as a silky new colour. Not to show, but just for fun. But I'm pretty happy with them. As Adam isn't looking particularly pretty at the moment, I thought we'd just say hello to him. He's really molted into beautiful Reeves colours. Now he's not yet grown his full tail out, but you can see it's starting to come. And his tail will actually take the entire length of him to 5 to 6 foot. Now in smaller enclosures they don't tend to grow out a long tail, but put them in a massive enclosure, then their tail gets ultra long. I'm really hoping still that EV2 is going to be a girl, and the EV1 obviously we realised is a boy, but we're really hoping that EV2 will be a girl, and I'm actually hopeful from the look of her feathers she may well be a female for Adam to have with him next year. He's now just hiding up there, look. The other thing I've noticed is boys, so the male of this species of Reeves, tend to be really good and hardy. Girls, not so much. Obviously we lost Eve, and we've now lost 2 girls at work and no boys. I'm wondering whether girls are more susceptible to stress and get more stressed in a aviary that hasn't got as much foliage in it. So that's something I'm gonna think about, and possibly put more foliage in here for when we get put the girl out. I'm literally just watched a mouse come out from underneath the shed. I wonder if I can get it. Oh no, it's just crawled away. It just came out from underneath that shed and ran across. If it's not careful, there it is. Can you see it? I can't really focus on it. Oh, and it popped away. Better be careful because Adam will eat it. But I just thought I'd show you Adam because he is looking rather glorious at the moment in this beautiful new foliage. Foliage? Feathering. Here are our little surprise chicks, and I've just given them some fermented grain. They've not really got used to it, so they're kind of wondering what it is. Can we eat it? Is it food? Is it going to attack us? Come on, some brave soul come across and try it. Up to this point they've only been fed chick crumb, but they really do need to start getting some bigger feeds into them now to boost it. Oh, yes, he took it. He didn't eat it, somebody else stole it. Actually, this little ginger one stole it. There's my favourite, that little sweet girl in the middle at the back, that sort of orangey one. Hello, what are you all doing? It's not going to eat you. So yeah, so I'm moving them on to more solid grains now, fermented feeds, and they'll be going up to growers pellets as well. So we will see how we do. Well, they're growing very quickly, and they look very nice. So I'm looking forward to when they molt into full colours. Well, I sent Sard off to the poultry auction today because I was actually working, and oh blimey, I felt terrible. But there's one thing to get you out of bed, even when you feel like you want to die, is looking after animals. So I went to work and I sent Sard off to the poultry auction, and look what he came back with! Turkeys! Now these turkeys aren't actually for me, these turkeys are for work. So you won't see them on an ongoing process, but we have lots of room to quarantine stuff at work. So normally I wouldn't buy in any live birds because I run a closed flock as much as I can to avoid contamination. But we've got lots of space for things to be quarantined at work. So these 4 turkeys are going to come into work and be quarantined. But as well as the turkeys for work, he also got some Japanese, oh no, not Japanese, Chinese painted quail. So if you remember, we got a few and they turned out to be boys. And then we tried to hatch some girls out, and none of the eggs hatched. And so now we've got these 4. Now there's at least 1 male in there. I'm hoping there's a couple of girls, because we've got 3 boys upstairs who desperately need hens. And as you can see, they are very, very skittish. I'm not even that close to them. So they need to calm down and realise we're not going to eat them. We're going to keep them as pets. But yeah, so the poultry auction was good. We got 4 lovely Norfolk turkeys for work. I need to put some shavings in there so they can bed down for the night. And then we got these 4 Chinese painted quail.